Kaiser, my friend, you like anime, yes?
I have watched anime, yes.
You've seen so many anime.
I have definitely seen probably 10 times the amount of anime you've seen.
Yes, easily.
Which is weird because there's so many, I have so many blank spots in my, anime I should have watched. I still need to watch Patlabor? Whatever.
Some of those mecha ones?
Yeah, with the police, what if we mechanize the police force? And it's way more wholesome than it sounds because it's Japanese police who still are corrupt, but,
I don't live in Japan. I don't know. I ain't got a dog in that race, nor a turtle. But what I do know is I know Tropes. You know Tropes? You like them?
I have wasted so many hours on TV Tropes, so...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you moderate? Did you, edit?
No,
or
God.
did you just scroll?
I'm a user, not a dealer.
Well, one thing anime is rife with... tropes, especially shonen anime.
Yeah.
They are everywhere.
I was looking at this tier list. A lot of these are just going to be shonen action tropes. So, up front...
It's the most popular kind of anime. That makes sense.
It is the most popular kind of anime. It's not the best kind of anime, but it is going to be the basis of a lot of these.
That said, a lot of my top 10 is shonen battle anime.
I know, and you found freer and boring.
I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it.
I swear I'm not judging you. It's easy to tease you for that one.
That's fine. Very little happens. Anyway. So we got ranks here, and we decided to get real weeby with it. We can go all the way from the top, the greatness, the subarashi.
Subarashi.
Sugoi. Yosh.
Yosh.
Choto. Choto. Baka. And
Yamete!
Or Yamero, I think, is the Japanese we have on there.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, it should be Yamero. Give me one.
It's fucked up forever. It's fucked up forever.
Yamero!
I couldn't stop him.
Nope.
But the first trope we got to talk about here on this list, taking off the weights or taking off their limiters. So The obvious reference to this is Rock Lee, Goku at that tournament.
Taking off the weights. So
nothing is cooler than Lee taking off those weights, but that is probably the best example of this. That said, when they go into a fight and you don't know there's limiters on them and then they take them off, it's ooh, Yusuke versus Toguro.
Yeah. So it's sort of interesting because you can kind of only get away with this once with a character.
Yeah.
You can do multiple characters in one story, but Rock Lee had to kind of trip his way into releasing a limiter the second time while getting drunk against Kimimaro.
Do you consider opening the gates releasing a limiter?
To a certain extent,
it's kind of the same thing.
It is. So one is taking off, he actually has both. Funny enough, he has both taking off the weights and opening the gates,
releasing his potential. Yeah,
and then he has another one where if he gets drunk, he suddenly becomes a master.
So he has a physical limiter, a power limiter, and then an inhibition limiter.
Yeah, exactly. Which just means
combine them all, and Rock Lee would be unstoppable.
Imagine him, weights off, gates open,
super drunk,
2 shots in, 3 shots in.
That's how he bagged. That's how he bagged 10-10.
I always forget that they hooked up.
Their child's name is Metal.
I will never watch Boruto. But yeah,
but that's the best example of this, the key, the hypest, and it can lead to some hype damn shit. But
so I will say it is one of those few that it can be overused and abused, but God help me, unless you're watching a lot of really bad fantasy slop, which fantasy isekai slop is a dime a dozen nowadays. And a lot of the stuff I've watched, it's always been hype. It's always been cool. I love the idea of a character who, for one reason or another, due to their own personal limitations or limitations set on them by others, can turn something off or take something off.
Yeah, Kenpachi and his eye patch, how it is holding back a vast majority of his power.
My favorite inhibitor in all of Bleach is him not using 2 hands with his goddamn sword. I will never get over that. I can't get over that.
There was that moment where it's just all right, I'm finally gonna do it. It's oh my God, is he actually gonna use his Bankai? I'm gonna use 2 hands. Oh!
That ridiculous. Only Kenpachi can get away with that.
Yeah.
But I will say, in terms of tropes, it's great. It's awesome. It's been used to great effect. But I wouldn't call it top tier.
Yeah,
I think it brushes up against top tier.
It can be so fucking good when it happens.
but it is also so simple and easy and kind of
contrived sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
like it feels like a bit of an ass pull at the moments.
Sometimes it is, oh, okay, I guess he had a limiter. Like with Rock Lee, the best part about it is he was wearing them the entire time. So when he takes them off, that shit was great.
Unfortunately, it was just so he could be cool and then get jobbed out.
But honestly,
it's still so cool that like Gaara, this like the big bad of that arc, is like,
yeah, no, and he almost lost that fight. Like there's still there's a timeline where he actually lost.
Oh, for sure.
So,
but yeah, I can agree. It's sugoi.
Yeah, it's pretty goddamn sugoi.
How about the power of friendship, made popular by Yu-Gi-Oh, probably most inherently, but it is seen throughout.
Yeah, well,
quite often.
I would say that power of friendship is kind of ubiquitous in the shonen atmosphere.
But I remember like mostly like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. Like it's more towards like the younger spectrum of shonen anime where like the power of friendship really comes in, and not just in like that spirit bomb, let me use the power of my friends kind of way, but like the power of my friends will see me through this.
I would say
I remember the smiley face hand.
Well, okay, again, the power of friendship. So when we're talking about the power of friendship, it kind of manifests in two ways. Either one, everybody working together, or two, the literal, our friendship has created a power that's going to wreck your shit. Which I believe they did that in My Little Pony.
Not an anime, but yeah.
I like it, but I don't like it.
It's good. It's a trope, but it doesn't feel like it's like here or there.
The worst version of it when it really like manifests as a power. I like it more in the we're all working together sort of way, in the One Piece sort of way. One Piece is what power friendship like all throughout, and they kind of hide that by the fact that like Luffy's always going up against the big bad, usually going up against the big bad one-on-one, but he only got there because of his friends. He only gets as far.
That support.
Yeah, power of friendship.
But it doesn't like while it doesn't like really feel like it's in the forefront, you know, like because like it does feel like a group effort, but it doesn't resonate with that power of friendship message.
But I disagree.
That's fair.
If only just because, again, it is one of those things that is all throughout the series. Power, like the Straw Hats only succeed because they cover each other's weaknesses. They look out for each other. They are stronger together than they are separate. They are greater than the sum of their parts. That is all that this trope should be, honestly.
I think one of the better examples of this trope is actually Digimon, and how like the closer, like, you know, the more compatible the Digimon and their trainer are together, the stronger and stronger they become.
That's a physical manifestation of that trope.
And I think that's one of the better examples, personally.
Well, I mean, again, it comes down to what do you mean by the power of friendship, and that's why this
it's a tough one to quantify.
Yeah, this is sort of a tough trope because, again, there's two different avenues. It actually manifests physically or it manifests metaphorically, which I personally prefer it like manifesting as a metaphor or rather a symbolic a theme.
Yeah,
I like it more as a theme.
I'd be curious what everybody out there, like, what's your example of power of friendship being shown as like a trope? Because I feel it as a trope, but I also don't like. It's one of those kind of nebulous things for some shows.
True. But that being said, I really do like it because it projects the idea of interdependence. It's helping each other. It's depending on one another. It's
synergy.
Yeah. And I think that more stories need that. Of course, it's a little. I don't
think it, but as a trope, I don't think it's as cool as something like dropping the weights. I mean, I'd say it's at least a tier down.
It's not as cool, and it is rather. It is rote. It is rote as they come, but I appreciate it and I love it. And again, I like it when it's a theme more than a physical manifestation.
I can see it in kind of like the high tiers of Yosh.
I would. Okay, hold on. Let's put it at the bottom of Sugoi for right now, and we can move it down to Yosh depending on what else ends up in both Yosh and Sugoi.
Okay.
I know.
I was going to argue closer to Choto on that one. For normally, I was going with Yosh for a middle ground, but
well, that being said, there are also some really, really cool ass moments where the power of friendship also manifests in some pretty sick shit,
such as
like in Digimon. Like when you were a kid, watching the Digimon evolve because the characters were growing closer together. That shit is awesome.
Yeah, finally seeing like War Greymon instead of Skull Greymon.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, and then watching how if you treat your friends like shit, you have a toxic relationship. That's pretty great.
It's a good thing for life. Just remember, Next up, Demon Inside. This is a very mixed bag because sometimes it can be fucking awesome and sometimes it's just really contrived bullshit. Like, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. The Mazuko is stupid.
I really like Naruto and Kurama, but there is no getting around the fact that Kurama being inside of Naruto gives him huge disadvantages and a story that is, well, about an underdog. And so it's weird because
it's a disadvantage until it isn't. I'm sorry, but that, like, speaking of power of friendship, the let's go Kurama moment. Ooh, that's fucking good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, the demon inside trope is just you're right. It is a mixed bag because it can give you these really high moments, but it also kind of cheapens any story that is about impersonal growth, right? Unless that demon inside is sort of like a representation of that struggle.
Yeah, it really depends on if the demon has its own agenda. Like, if it's because, like, some demons are just like, man, I just want to be left alone. I don't give a shit. I'll keep you alive, but come on. Some of them are like, in Jujutsu Kaisen's case, the actual antagonist. Like,
which in terms of demon inside stories, that one's A+.
Yeah.
That knows how to use it, how to subvert it, how to really kind of like help the story.
Yeah, I love that moment when Yuji is there was that other human who like got those poison powers. Remember that one like actual high school arc, like right before?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, he shows up and like, I think it's like Mahito, like that kid, are like having like a little bit of a scuff. He's like, we got to save this guy. Come on. You wouldn't deal with this shit. Yeah, I know, but I also hate your guts. I'm going to watch you cry, you little bitch. Like, that moment's like, oh, heartbreaking and hysterical.
It is pretty good.
But then you have things like Yusuke and the Mazuku, which feel like, or Ichigo with the hollow. And it feel like some of these just kind of feel like really contrived, like, plot conveniences.
Yeah.
So it's a real mixed bag. Like, it can be good, but can also be like really like, ugh.
Agree. I think Yosh is probably the highest I'd put it.
It would be pretty low Yosh too, but like, that's just because it's so mixed.
Yeah, it's
another mixed bag, but it's almost always like bad mixed. We got the pervert.
Baka, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore. Like, look, there are a few times in anime where the pervert has worked, but 99% of the time, that character fucking sucks.
Almost always does.
And it can make characters you like worse. Mm-hmm. I like read Sanji.
Yeah, Sanji in Thriller Bark and apparently later. Like, his worst moments are when he's actually pervy and not just simping or being like, you know, suave. I love suave Sanji, and it's fine for him to be like a bit of a goofball simp, but when he's
him trying to impress women is great. Him talking about peeking on them and then later peeking on them in the bathroom. Nope.
Yeah, not particularly a fan. And then you got
Mineta.
Mineta, I think, was like the last big example of this that I can think of, like of the like truly gross pervert, but they like Clockwork Oranged the shit out of him.
Yes, which I still to this day really want to know what the hell
they were forcing him to watch.
Yeah. Also, Dragon Ball Super comes back and it gives Roshi maybe one of his worst scenes.
Yeah, in Tournament of Power, that's just not great. Like he was already problematic in Dragon Ball.
The fact that there is a scene where he uses the shrink down tool to watch a girl
poop.
Use the bathroom. It's just.
I mean, he thought he was going to watch her pee, but that doesn't make it better.
No, it really doesn't.
Really doesn't.
And here we have a scene where he threatens to force himself on a woman.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's a difference between, hey, I want to see some titties, and I'm gonna sneak in the bathroom and watch you take a shit.
Yeah, I'm 100% okay with a character that is a pervert, but as long as they are not pushing boundaries or trying to like
I think Jiraiya is kind of at that level where like he's a pervert, and yeah, he does peep, but it's like he's not like as creepy about it. I don't know.
There is a part about him that seems a little bit more respectable, and I do think that's sort of the tone and approach that they have.
I think it's also the fact that you have a character like Tsunade to balance him out and beat the shit out of him for it. Like, the pervert needs to have punishment.
Yeah.
And for Roshi, it was getting flushed down with Bulma's poop, but it's also like another step beyond, you know?
Yeah. And I get that like the pervert trope in like anime is treated as, oh, this is not something you should do. It's just a character flaw that we're going to play up. I get that. I understand that. I'm not out here trying to say that they're teaching kids all of the wrong things, but it is still just like, oh, I'm trying to enjoy this character and you keep having them do this weird shit. I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
So I know you were saying baka, but would you rather Yamero the pervert?
We have a real good pervert
The closest
character.
I can come up with, like on the top of my head, is Jiraiya.
Even then, his pervert stuff is not like they play up him being a pervert only in the stories he writes. Very
In the
rarely,
stories he writes, and he has admitted to like, you know, trying to peep in the bathhouse.
yeah, which is wrong, but like
That feels more human.
it does feel more human. But I don't know when it comes to I gotta put it in Yamero.
I've never found it funny. Is the thing like
yeah.
even when like, you know, I was, you know, full of hormones and
That being said, there are some perverted characters that I do enjoy, like Denji from Chainsaw Man.
yeah, but he's also like a teenage kid who wants to feel a boob before he dies.
Yeah, which
And respect.
Yeah.
I believe
I know I totally get that.
it's like less pervy and more just him being honest. Like he's not like going around peeping or like, you know, taking upskirt shots or something.
He does, like, he is always kind of upfront about what he wants and not deceptive about it, and that is the big difference.
Yeah.
Explaining power to enemy.
Yeah. Okay. This one, I mean,
So-
I wouldn't know what bungee gum does without it.
Bungee gum?
Yeah. Did you know it has both the qualities of both rubber and gum?
Oh, now that you've told me, I fully understand. Okay. So I don't know about this one because it is explaining power to the enemy is a trope that largely manifested because in manga, it is a little bit more difficult to show
It's purely for the audience, obviously.
Well, yeah, it's purely for the audience. But again, it comes from manga being a visual medium, but also struggling a little bit to convey the full idea of what it's presenting because it can't use motion. And often you could do it, but you'd have to take way more pages. So a lot of mangaka will just shrink it down to an explanation either by the narrator or one character to another.
Yeah, but in this case, I think it's specifically the character explaining the power
Yeah, no, this is explaining power. This is a character.
to your enemy.
Yes. I don't like this trope, but I do think the best use of it in maybe all of shonen is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah,
Because
where if you explain your power, it's stronger.
Because once they understand it and they know it, then just the fact that they understand that they know it, that's so cool. I'm sorry. What a great explanation.
Like it's a good way to fit that contrivance in.
Yeah. Make it part of your power system. Way to go.
But it is a mixed bag. I understand that it's specifically for the audience, and when it's not the enemy explaining it, it's usually like a side character or like an inner monologue being like, oh, I see, he can do this. Because they don't like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't explain that Dio can stop time until Joseph discovers that's what he can do. Or was it Joseph that discovered it?
Kakyoin discovers
it.
Then Joseph
learns it from Kakyoin, and then
he
explains it to Jotaro.
Yeah, well, he lets it slip before Dio sucks him off.
Yeah. Either way, I'd say Choto. Like it's one of those ones that doesn't bother me, but it's also like because I understand why it exists.
It's an overused, kind of annoying narrative tool, but it is effective. And sometimes it's kind of necessary. Now, I do kind of wish that more anime would stop being so slavish to their adaptations and rely more on visuals to tell what the characters are forced to say in the manga. Like, because sometimes...
Just let the action speak.
Yeah, like, you don't have to adapt all of the dialogue. You can just adapt the stuff that seems natural in the moment and allow the visuals to do more of the storytelling.
Next up, we have the villain group. Best example of this I can think of is One Piece. Like every arc, it's like, okay, these are the characters that they're going up against. There's going to be some one-on-ones, maybe some group-on-ones.
That's the best. I mean, it's a good example, but not the Akatsuki.
I mean, like the Akatsuki is definitely an example, but One Piece had it every arc.
True. I mean, One Piece has a lot of them. To me, though, like when I think villain group in anime, the first thing I think of is the Akatsuki because...
And the Akatsuki is a great example of them.
The Akatsuki.
Akatsuki, the red clouds, are a great example of it.
Akatsuki.
Is that not cloud?
Kamo is cloud.
Ah.
Tsuki is moon.
Red Moon. But
It's because
got clouds on it.
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
Either way, this feels like a trope that's kind of necessary. Like, I feel like it's in all media.
In Justice League.
Yeah.
Legion of Doom.
The Legion of Doom, the Hand, the Foot.
Oh gosh, the Court of Owls.
Yeah, I mean it's evergreen.
Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it. Look, I don't have anything against it. There are too many times where it does sort of feel like the villain group exists because you have a group of protagonists and they desperately need a what do you call it?
A group of villains.
Well, I was going to say like
a counter, like a foil.
Counterpoint. Yeah, a foil. And that can be good. And I'm not saying it's bad by default.
Yeah.
When it's done poorly, when it's done really nakedly, it bothers me.
But I mean, it happens like all the time. And like a lot of the times you end up with like great shit like CP9 or the Akatsuki, the Ginyu Force.
I was about to say Ginyu Force. Mm-hmm. We love our Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
It feels like they could have done a little bit more with them character-wise, but honestly, it's still phenomenal for that part of the story.
Yeah, Team Togoro. Like,
yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho actually had a bunch of villain teams.
Yeah, because they had a whole tournament about it.
Yep. And then Chapter Black, Sensui and his peeps.
Yeah.
So
I have a hard time putting it below Yosh. Just like it's there.
I would definitely
it's not
put it
bad. It's not great. It can be great. It can be bad, but it's overall benign.
I would definitely put it above Demon Inside. Yeah,
for sure. Next up,
our fight thirsty characters.
Fight thirsty characters like Goku. Sometimes Luffy. Luffy's more adventure thirsty, but he's sometimes about that fight, but he's not like going out of his way for it like Goku would.
There are times where he's like, ooh, I want to fight that. I want to know how strong I am against that guy.
Yeah, like when he sees like this person is like the next step. I got to fight, like that one's mine.
Yeah. But you find them in a lot of different places, not just in the Battle Shonen. You can find them in fantasy. You can find them in even sci-fi, like in some of the Gundams as well. Actually, a lot in Mecha. You'll find a guy
there's also that one massive dude in Vinland Saga.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, dude. I miss Vinland Saga.
Yeah. I guess Kenpachi in Bleach is kind of that way.
Oh, yeah. Are you kind of?
Yeah.
No, Kenpachi is up there with Goku in terms of guy who lives to fight.
Looking for like the next one. Baki, full of characters like that.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, to a certain extent,
I feel like in Baki, it's a prerequisite to be in the show.
Yeah. No, you will not get very far in Baki unless you live.
You want that smoke.
Yeah.
Actively seeking it out. Though as a trope, like I love it about Goku, but it also leads to like some of like the worst things about Goku.
But no, that's one of the reasons I like it though.
Okay.
For me, I like this type of character because like if it's all they've got to them, that can kind of suck. And if it's all about balancing. Any trope can be good or bad. It's all about the balance and how it's used. Mm-hmm. With Goku, it's a big part of his character. It's his big drive. And I'm totally fine with the fact that sometimes it makes him do bad things because that's part of that story.
Right.
That's, Toriyama called it his poison, basically.
Right.
It's hard to place it, though, because as in terms of these types of characters, I really do like them, especially our Kenpachi. It's neat. It's fun. I would probably put it in Yosh, personally.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Still above Demon Inside. Maybe above Villain Group. I don't know.
I'd put it below Villain Group.
Sure, because villain groups can be great, but so can these characters. It's same kind of mixed bag, I guess.
Yeah.
Next up, villain versus villain.
Villain versus villain does not happen nearly enough, and I love when it does.
I think it's great. Like, the first time Mahito touched Itadori, or like Itadori ended up in like yeah, fucking great. Like anytime a villain is trying to fuck up Itadori and Sukuna's just like, I still need this body, bitch. You back off.
Yeah, and Naruto had some villain versus villains as well. Dragon Ball doesn't have a whole lot of villain versus villain, and I'm sad about that because I would actually really love...
Yeah, there's plenty of villain on villain violence, but very few villain versus villain fights.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually having a hard time thinking of any off the top of my head, really.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Namek definitely had some of that with...
A couple, but Vegeta was kind of an anti-villain at that time already. Like, he was a third party.
he
sure.
was still fully villain mode. In fact, I would say he doesn't stop being a villain until
Frieza kills him.
Until probably then, yeah. Because even when he's fighting,
Actually, no, it's until they team up to fight Frieza.
Possibly, but even then, Vegeta's only using them, and there's no reason to think that he has any affection for them at that point.
I honestly think like the anti-villain thing kind of comes into play during the Ginyu Force bit, because he does save them. Like, you know, he's actively realizing, okay, I kind of need these guys right now. Like they're a pawn on the table for me. So like he's kind of on that anti-villain edge. You can tell where his character's going.
Yeah, he's like, that is the effective start of him becoming the bad boy of the group.
Mm-hmm. The bad man.
Yeah, the bad man. I love this trope. I love when we get like, because there's nothing I like more than watching two shitheads pull out their devious tactics that they usually use on good
You were about
people.
to say pull out their devious dicks and just slap each other about.
Kind of, yeah. That's the idea. Like they.
My Hero had a great example of it with the League of Villains versus.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
Doofenshmirtz. Yeah.
Yes, I loved that shit.
That was a great arc.
Yeah.
It might be like one of the better My Hero arcs.
Yeah, in fact, I was a little bit sad because it kind of definitely felt like they neutered it just a little bit in the anime, because when you're reading the manga, that whole bit where they fight a whole town and then go up against Doofenshmirtz, shit was legit. I loved that. Villain versus villain is easily up in top of Yosh, even Sugoi for me.
I'd say Sugoi, because like these are some like sick moments when they actually happen. I'm hard pressed to think of times where villain fought villain and I'm just like, whatever.
It probably helps that, like, I think the worst examples of it are probably in worse anime that we've managed to.
That I just don't watch.
Yeah, that we've managed to avoid.
Yeah.
I think we even see a little bit of that in Bleach as well.
That would make sense. There are so many different parties.
Factions.
Like, yeah, so many different factions in there. Like anytime where there are like multiple different types of factions, which is why this works in something like Naruto or Full Metal Alchemist.
I also, God knows that I love when a new villain comes in and jobs the old villain. Hell yeah. That stuff's so good.
All right, so I'm gonna put it above Power of Friendship. Would you put it above like releasing the limiters and the weights?
Honestly, I'd put it at the bottom.
I'd put it still above Power of Friendship, because I think it's more interesting and more quantifiable.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. We'll put it there.
Sword slice after the cut. So
Okay.
it's either like the cut and then it falls apart, or the
Subarashi. I don't care. That shit is...
It's almost always like the coolest shit. I agree.
Yeah, sometimes it's overused. Don't get me wrong, but it's overused because it's so
fucking
cool. Yeah, and it's so simple and so easy. And you want to talk about quantifiable? Bam. Yeah, that's it. You see it. You know it happened. It happens all the time. And it could be so fucking great.
Yeah.
And not only, like, it extends to just beyond the sword slice after cut. There are other things that you can do that, like... are similar in the same vein, like with Kenshiro. Omae wa mo shindeiru. Is that
Kinda.
just with
fists?
Yeah, just with I just punched you in places and you're about to die. That's so cool.
It's a similar vibe, just like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That like the after effect.
Yeah, the delayed reaction. And yes, A+. Yeah, no notes.
There are so many examples of this that's not even like really worth going into.
Oh God, I couldn't even. Although one of my
easy placement.
One of my favorites is Trunks against Frieza, though.
Yeah. How could it not be? Next up, the Genius.
So the Genius is weird because it gets used a lot by, and considering our writing for Gohan early on, I'm telling a little bit, but he gets used a lot by people who are not smart enough to write them. In fact, I would say that as much as I love Death Note, they were struggling to write Light Yagami and L as smart as they needed to, as they were.
It's one of those things where you know they come up with the end of a scenario and then try to figure out the most clever way to get through it.
Yeah.
And then write the plot around that as the through line.
Yeah. Now, when it's done well, I love it.
Shikamaru.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shikamaru. Shikamaru is one of the best examples of this trope. And even with my shit talking about Light Yagami, damn it, there are some moments. There are some moments where I'm like, you sneaky bitch.
Like it can lead to some like really hype shit, like the thing where like you see the heroes on the back foot the whole time, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now go, and all of a sudden everything starts clicking into place. The genius's plan just starts activating. Griffith sends the flanking force in to save Guts and his vanguard. Like everything just starts clicking into place little by little, and then they win the day just through sheer might of mind.
Yeah. And one of the other cool things about the Genius is that it can help set up for great turnabouts as well. Like, oh, yeah, you're really smart, but I work harder than you do, bitch. And I like that.
And the Genius is different from the Prodigy, which I think is also on here. Like the Genius is like purely, intellect based level of thing, whereas the Prodigy is just like, born with it. But I think the Genius leads to a lot of great moments. But there are also like a lot of like overly contrived genius characters out there. Like the one I think of, like I just for the life of me could not get into Dr. Stone.
Oh God. Me neither, honestly.
Yeah.
Like no shit talking to Dr. Stone fans.
I have no issue with people who enjoy it. One for me.
Kind of bounce off me a little bit. Mostly because I think I was looking for something a little bit more realistic, and it's like there's nothing realistic about that manga at all. Not even a little bit.
Honestly, like the Genius can lead to so many like great moments, and like can define a character in such a great way. See Shikamaru, that I'd have a hard time putting it below Sugoi.
Okay.
Kind of around villain versus villain, maybe.
I don't know. Honestly, I would put it at the top of Yosh. Top of Yosh? Yeah, the top of Yosh, only just because I feel like it can make for great characters and great moments, but it's really hard to do right and so often done wrong.
I'm still having problems with Power of Friendship then now, like its placement, because I believe the Genius is better than just the Power of Friendship.
I think the Genius has the potential of being better than the Power of Friendship, but I think the Power of Friendship is generally done better and sends a better message.
Okay. I'll cede the tragic backstory. The killer of Naruto. This kills the Naruto.
Well, no, so
it killed the Naruto for me.
There's actually something later on here which I think more properly identifies the problem with the tragic backstory. I guess I can talk about it a little bit now, but my problem with tragic backstories in a lot of anime is that you learn them learn them almost after the conflict or when the conflict's about to end, so it can retroactively inform decisions made. And frankly, I'm sick of it. Because when a character has a tragic backstory and the plot just kind of doesn't inform you on what happened and the character's motivations, you are then left wondering, why the fuck is the character doing this for chapters or episodes at a time? And then finally you get the explanation, but at that point you now have to mentally kind of like, oh, well, that explains this and that and this, and I kind of wish I'd known that when that was happening. I kind of wish I knew their motivation as they were behaving, because then I could have become emotionally invested. I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
I think like that specifically is when it's a villain's backstory, or like, something like that. Like in Demon Slayer. In One Piece, it's usually done very well at a point when like a character's about to join the crew and you want to like learn why. Yeah.
And that's often better, because when it comes to protagonists / heroes and all that stuff, when it comes to characters like that, you want to know, you're interested, and you give a lot of leeway, I think, because, okay, well, they're doing good things, and okay, characters who do good things, or they want to do good things, you can see something's bothering them. I don't know, that it's easier for me then.
I do think about like one of my favorite bits of media of all time, Berserk. How you kind of start in medias res, this like, the Black Swordsman's a fucking bastard of a man running around just like slaying demons, and he'll help a person here and there, but if they die, it's like, yeah, that's the fucking world. And then you go back in time and you realize into the Golden Age arc, and you see the events that raised him, and you're like, okay. Yeah. Like that's probably the best example of a tragic backstory I can think of, where it's like, damn, that
he has multiple tragic backstories.
His entire life is pain.
Yeah, because when you go back to the Golden Age, you're like, oh wow, there was
a brief moment of happiness, and even that was in the midst of war.
Yeah, but then during that moment of happiness, you get another flashback to when he was young, and oh no,
I'm pretty sure it starts off showing you his life before before he joins Griffith, but
as a kid,
yeah.
I thought that was explored.
Maybe you're right. Either way, his dad's probably the worst anime dad.
Yeah,
maybe
he's definitely up there. But yeah, no, tragic backstory. I like tragic backstory. I do. I think it's we all love our characters
but it can be like super overdone. I'd put it in Yosh for sure, I think.
Yeah, no, it's in Yosh mostly just because it can be done very well, and then you have Jiren.
Yeah, I'd say like just above Demon Inside, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, tragic backstory can be good. Can be real good.
Can be tragic.
Can be tragic.
Next up, we got the school festival arc. I do not watch a lot of anime where this comes into play. Okay. My Hero is the one I can think of, and I really like that arc.
Okay, I have to say this. It's not for us. It is not for us. So I don't know where to place it on this list, because whenever it happens on any of the anime that I watch, they're like, oh yeah, the school festival's coming up. And I'm like, oh, cool. We get to do more of these tropes that I have no personal connection to. Now, they can be really fun and kind of nice. Like,
I like the My Hero one.
Yeah, no, the My Hero like school festival, especially with, oh my gosh, the
Hero 2 with like the capper to Aries story. Oh, yeah,
so good. I mean, that genuinely great. But there are so many of them that are like, oh well, what is our class gonna do this year? And then you find out what they're going to dedicate themselves to. And
I played Persona.
Yeah, essentially. And so I don't know, it's not bad, but I do feel like if there's ever a school-based anime, which there are so many of them, especially the shonen stuff, almost solely the shonen / shoujo romance stuff.
It feels like at least in a shonen, it feels like just a beat to give you a slice of life for a bit.
Yeah, and in the shoujo stuff, it's a way to give the love interests like a chance to connect and have fun and indulge in something that everyone's doing. So personally for me, I would put it in either the bottom of Yosh or the top of Choto.
I'll go top of Choto. Choto's looking kind of lonely.
Yeah, and look, it's not for us. And if you're somebody in America who loves those scenes, and that's great, awesome. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's just I've kind of I think I enjoyed them more before I watched too many anime with them.
Yeah, I haven't seen nearly enough with them. That said, high school setting. This happens a lot. It happens in a lot of shonen too.
And again,
it's not always the primary setting, but
when I was younger, it's definitely something that this is made for kids. The high school setting is
romanticizing the older youthful years, the springtime of youth kind of deal.
And part of that, unfortunately, also has to do with the fact that for a lot of Japanese people, the moment they leave high school, life hits hard and fast. You don't have any, like when you get to college, you don't have the clubs anymore. You don't have the group stuff. There are no, like, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong on this one, but I was talking to one of my half Japanese friends about this. In college, you don't have sports. There's no college football. Yeah. And so that's why high school stuff is so prevalent in anime, especially anime made for kids.
It's meant as a happy nostalgia thing for those who are older watching it, and something to look forward to for those who are younger watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And so to that extent, there's so much anime with it to where I'm sick of it. I'm personally sick of it. But again, target audiences.
Sounding closer to Choto here.
It is Choto, but like I'd only put it in Choto again because there are so many anime that are set in a high school setting that are phenomenal.
And it's just but it as a trope is like, it's whatever.
Yeah, but God knows that while I do love my my Tiger and Dragon, I love my romance. I love Kaguya-sama Love is War, and I love all my shonen anime, Assassination Classrooms, and Beastars. Hell, I want more adults being adults. I would kill for more adults just being adults in anime. So yeah, I'm putting it in Choto. But don't let that be like a condemnation of it as a whole. It's really just because there's an oversaturation of that particular setting.
Now we have the exam arc, maybe tangential to the last two, but it's not always necessarily a school thing. Sometimes it's just a test.
Chunin exam.
I guess the sports festival, which that's not really it.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of, sort of, but they aren't graded on it.
Well, no, the sports festival is a tournament.
Yeah, it's a tournament.
Yeah. My Hero does have exam arcs.
I guess, yeah. Because like the getting your learner's permit thing is technically an exam.
And then placement, and then we have the fight against Class B is actually an exam.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I don't dislike them. And the exam arc is always just a expository. It's let us either introduce you to a bunch of characters and their powers, or let us show you where these characters now are with their powers, which My Hero actually does.
Yeah. I don't really it's another one of those things where I don't really have a problem with them. Like, they can lead to some pretty cool shit.
I would put them at the bottom of Yosh because I know a lot of really good examples of exam arcs. And I can also point out some really mad ones, and I do think it's overused. But to that extent, man, the Chunin exams are really good, right? Yeah. And we've seen similar things like that. I think a lot of the exam stuff in My Hero, I'm sorry, Class A versus Class B is actually really fun. I'm really glad we had it because we got to see more of Class B. We got to see how Class A had progressed. I thought that arc was actually really neat.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, plot armor. This is media wide, but in anime, oh my god,
it's weird that it's
so many characters. Like and sometimes it's not even because the plot demands they live. Sometimes like they live despite everything. Like the one I think of is the bird dude in Alabasta.
Oh yeah,
why did he live?
Yeah, we were just talking about why is he alive?
Like, that's not even plot armor. That's just contrivance.
Yeah, that's just...
It's like, I didn't want him to die.
No, that was... Vivi suffered enough. Let's give her friend back.
Yeah.
That's what that was. I don't know. Plot armor... Like, plot armor is a negative trope.
It is.
Like, it's... That one has a negative connotation because it's essentially telling you, no, sorry, this main character cannot die because otherwise the plot cannot happen.
Like, the plot needs to continue.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that's almost necessitated sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, but it screams just baka.
Yeah, okay, let's put our first baka down. Yeah. Mostly just because, I get it, but it can be really annoying. It can be, more often than not, if you call something plot armor, that means it's bad.
Yeah.
That means you notice, like, oh, that's bullshit. He's only alive because the plot demands it.
He shouldn't have survived.
Yeah, that is when it's plot armor. When you can be like, nah,
they shouldn't have made it through that. That's stupid.
Now, that being said, I don't mind it if it's obviously a coincidence, but they recognize that. Like, holy shit, we could have died there. And that's sort of a moment where that actually makes them, like, change their behavior.
What's an example of that you can think of? Like, where, like, the plot demanded that they live, but it was like, all right, that was actually makes sense to me.
Probably a couple times in Naruto, especially in the Chunin exam arc, where they realize, hey, you can't keep doing this. Like, people keep having to bail you out. You've got to get stronger. You've got to change your behavior.
So sometimes it's just like the stronger character ex machina.
Hunter x Hunter has that. Hunter x Hunter has like moments where Gon or another character barely survive and they have to change their behavior after that.
I feel like that, like, there's difference of like scraping by like, the skin of your teeth versus like the plot demanding that you keep living, because obviously the main character, the plot demands you live.
That's sort of the difference I'm saying.
I guess,
now.
yeah. Next up is an example that I can't even like really think of a whole lot of. Maybe I just watch better shows,
is
but
that
the incest character immediately to Yamamoto, because I can't think of a...
Okay, that happens. That is more prevalent in ecchi anime.
Well, that's awful. And
yeah, we don't watch a lot of ecchi anime. Which, look, am I going to say that it's never, ever, ever, ever been funny to me?
It's funny as a trope. It's not
okay.
funny when they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's funny as it. The brothers from Oran High School Host Club, I love them so much because they play up we're brothers and we look after each other and maybe there's something weirdly romantic there and the girls squeal. Absolutely A+. Love that. But when it's authentic, when it's sincere, I don't want to talk about this.
Like, I'm just trying to find... fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, find an example of something that I've actually watched.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, next up, we got... fan service.
So the problem with this one, and I think I know...
It's broad. I think I know what they mean. I think they mean the titty and ass version.
I think they also mean titties and ass, and we're just going to... That's what this one is.
Yeah, so obviously, Subarashi.
I want to be on record. I actually have no problem with good fan service. Good fan service to me is absolutely spectacular stuff because, frankly, I like when things can be sexy. I like when things are unabashed and
but
in
it can
your
also
face.
get like really egregious and being like, okay, come on, like my mom might walk in, man.
Well,
Like-
so like, okay, as I've grown older, I realized, there's nothing wrong with putting your kinks in your work. And if you disagree, then a lot of the stuff that you probably enjoy wouldn't exist. So shut up.
Just don't be too overt with it. Don't go too far in.
Yeah, there's being like, oh, hey, I can kink to that. And, oh, okay, now I know this artist's fetish. It's really in your face. Okay, I now can see nothing but it.
Really obvious that the Attack on Titan people really like Vor and
And there's also one other difference. Like, one, being tactful or tactical about it, unless you're running something that is etchy, in which case, have fun, go nuts. No, if
it's something made for perverts, that's what this is for.
Enjoy. I'm not judging. I'm genuinely not. However, if I'm watching a show where suddenly something hits me out of nowhere that is distracting from the scene or the plot, that's when it kind of just gets on my nerves a little bit. That's always going to be kind of subjective. That's super subjective. But, I'm the one that I really don't like. The stuff that bothers me is when a character, almost always a female character, though sometimes it does happen with male characters.
Usually
but it's
female, almost. And
if it's a male character, it's played for comedy. But with female characters, when their agency is taken away from them, when they're forced into a situation where they're uncomfortable or voyeuristic, when it's
just like too obvious, like Fire Force, that one character who's like just always naked or always getting fondled and grabbed just because like she's cursed with it or something.
Which that falls into
played for comedy, but
that falls into both for me.
Yeah,
one that's super in your face about it, and also one where it's like, wait a second, I don't want to watch this poor girl be put through this. That's not fun or funny. And then that fucking mangaka, God, they're probably going to adapt this into the anime at some point. But there's actually an entire couple of pages where the manga author does a self-insert with a little girl. Talking to her mom because her mom complains about the nudity, and oh God, I'm gonna poorly explain it, but let me tell you, it's awful. It's so stupid. It's remarkably stupid.
It was better than the setup implied, but
yeah. Let me just tell you, fan service is a toto for me. Because it's just used, it's so poorly done, so goddamned often.
So often, but at the same time, we were all going through puberty once. I can't help but at least put it into Yosh. I'm gonna bump that up just a little bit. You can sit at the bottom of Yosh.
And again, look, I think Cutie Honey is fun, but Cutie Honey also, like, she is like, yeah, I'm sexy. And she'll play with that. Her villains will play with that. Like, I like the idea of characters being sexy and knowing Fujiko Mine.
And like sometimes characters, like, you gotta know that the animators love what they're doing. Like in some of those One Piece movies, they're exceptionally bouncy.
Yeah, but let's not talk about how Toei Animation draws, because Toei Animation.
I'm not yucking any yums. In fact, I'm yumming a lot of yucks here.
Look, I'm yucking the animators' inability to draw those characters in a way that doesn't make them look like fucking aliens. I'm not even doing the "where's their organs" thing. They just look weird. And it's not even how Oda draws them. If you compare if you compare how he draws them in the manga to how they appear in the anime, it's different and bigger.
Yeah.
Again, tits are fine. I have no problem with tits. I have no problem with skin. I want everyone to know that as long as they're 18 years or older.
Yes, preferably. Very much preferably.
Yeah, I prefer them being adults. But as long as they are, and they aren't being abused or being put in a really weird circumstance where that takes away their agency, no problem.
Yeah, see Sword Art.
Yeah, also that.
Next up, this can go a bunch of different ways. I think I know what they're talking about here, but just older than they look. Because you have there's the trope of the little girl that's actually 10,000 years old. And that's if it's being used as an excuse to sexualize a young character, I fucking hate it. But when it's something that's just using the excuse to turn a younger person into just a foul-mouthed gremlin, I'm about that. I like that.
When barring all instances where it's being used to excuse lolicon, I love that shit. I love the little I love the character. I don't know if this probably doesn't count, and maybe it's more just the cute contrast. I also like cute looking characters with deep voices and like mature personalities. Yeah. I dig that sort of thing.
I mean, there's a lot of examples of this that like aren't even necessarily either of those. I mean, you have Tsunade, who looks a lot younger than she is.
So, yeah, Tsunade is, in fact, older than she looks.
But I don't think that's what this trope is, right?
Maybe. I mean...
Because then you also have Bisky.
Although, Bisky's not just younger than she looks, she's also...
smaller than she looks.
Yeah, well, smaller than she really is, truly is. I love Bisky.
Bisky's great. Like, as mentor characters go, she's like pretty top tier.
She's so good. Yeah, no, I kind of love this trope, again, just when it's not being used for gross reasons. But because it gets used for gross reasons so often...
it gets bumped down a bit.
I'm going to put it at the top of Yosh. Because otherwise, I mean, okay, in somewhere in Yosh. Otherwise, it would be like, if it didn't get used...
I'll put it above fight-thirsty characters.
Okay.
That feels like a fair balance.
Because I don't know, it's usually kind of funny and you know, offers up
like I said, when they're being like, when it's being used to like have somebody who looks young just like chugging booze and then saying like, you know, like swearing like a sailor and just being like a little gremlin.
Although it's sort of funny because younger than they look kind of applies to 90% of shonen anime.
Yeah, it applies to like almost all of it.
Yeah, because
unless it's a high school anime in which the girls like always look older than they are.
Yeah, no, that's like, yeah, that's yeah. Oh well.
The inner monologue, ever present, always there. So, I can't think of a show without one.
Remember when I was talking about how anime is a visual medium with motion and audio, but manga is not? Mm-hmm. Yeah, inner monologue. Inner monologue almost entirely exists, especially because so many anime nowadays are being adapted from light novels. So you have a light novel adaptation into manga.
So you need to explain some of the narrative in there to make some things work.
Exactly. And then it gets adapted into an anime.
And sometimes you have an animation budget, which isn't going to allow you to do some of the things that they want to show, but they need to tell it anyway.
Yep. So inner monologue really kind of goes right up there with explaining power to the enemy.
But I think a little worse.
I would say kind of, it is worse descriptively. Prescriptively, it's not necessarily bad because there are plenty of good uses of it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to put it like a tier below, but I'll just set it like right below it. Yeah, I can agree.
There are so many times where I've seen an inner monologue really improve something. Honestly, I think Death Note actually benefits from it. I like you get to see inside of their mind.
Yeah, it's important sometimes.
Yes, and with good acting, it really kind of just shows you okay, what are they thinking? Like, what is their mindset? What is their, like, I dig that. That's cool. So I can see it in Choto just because while it can be used well, it's often just kind of annoying and tropey.
Next up, as opposed to the genius, now we have the prodigy, your Nejis, your Sasuke's, your...
Bottom of Toto, top of Baka.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't... Fuck off the... Okay. Sometimes it's okay as long as it's like everybody is built different. Some people are shorter, some people are taller, some people are naturally predisposed to be skinny, some are more predisposed to be a bit heavier. Some people are pretty naturally, and some people are ugly. That's just how things go.
Hi. And go on.
And I have no problem with characters like being like, no, I'm good at this.
I'm just better.
Yeah.
Like your Frieza's. Is Frieza technically a prodigy? Because he's just born with it.
I mean, he actually does say that he's like, they're mutants. That's one of the reasons they're so strong. I have no problem with characters just generally having innate parts about them that help them do the thing that they're doing in the plot.
Genetic advantages.
Yes, that's fine. But you know, I've always personally loved a good underdog story. And if your story is going to be an underdog story,
the underdog almost like requires a prodigy as a foil.
But yes, the prodigy in that case needs to be the foil and not your main character.
Which is why it's usually a side character. Like in Naruto, it's Sasuke, it's Neji. It's these people that are born with these incredible innate abilities, fighting a guy who was born with incredible innate abilities, but just doesn't understand them.
This is a heavily debated topic, and Plague of Gripes did a video on this, which has gotten a lot of heat from Naruto fans. Plague of Gripes, he once made an entire video talking about how Lee is a better version of Naruto. Because
Lee is a much better underdog.
Yes, he is. Because he worked for it. Whereas Naruto is like, oh yeah, I've got an infinite supply of chakra. oh, okay, well, that makes you able to do a lot of stuff other characters just flat out cannot do. That's why it sort of bothers me a little bit when they try to make him the underdog with a power that is just better than most people have. But that's aside the point.
Yeah. Another good example of this one is Vegeta versus Goku. Yeah. Vegeta is like the prime example of this.
Yeah, Vegeta is literally
like born better.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you follow Vegeta's training regimen, he just gets better than Goku regularly. Just with enough training and enough focus, he just surpasses Goku.
Enough push-ups, enough sit-ups, enough juice, he gets there.
Right? But then Goku will do something and then pass him up again. And that's fine. That's great. And unfortunately, Goku's also had some rocky steps to becoming better. The water. It's not to mention Super Saiyan. But at least everyone else got Super Saiyan. All that meant was that the human characters were bye.
Yeah.
But that being said, I like the Prodigy. I like the Prodigy when it's being used as a foil for the underdog, and I can even like the Prodigy just as a supporting character. But I do not like Prodigy as the main character unless the story is literally about their struggle being a prodigy and the problems that brings with it. Because can
you think of like the only like good example of like a main character prodigy I can think of is Mob,
or in Saitama actually.
Saitama but he worked for it. But Mob was born with it.
Yeah, but okay. Mob was born with it, but also Saitama did not work that hard. That's
excuse me, you do that workout every day. Turn off your AC.
Anyway, my point being, Saitama definitely counts because he basically became a god through doing calisthenics. That's not the same. So
you're still thinking Shoto?
I'd actually put it at the bottom of Yosh. And that's fair. And thank you. The struggle of being a prodigy. Yeah, that would be Mob. And, we have other stories like that, like stories of characters who were like, I'm really good at this thing, but has kind of like pigeonholed me into this part of my life.
It's always funny in Mob because like a lot of the like characters that are Mob's foil are just other prodigies, but Mob is just better.
And yeah, the entire point of other characters being prodigies is he gets to look them in the eye and say, that doesn't make you better.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a better person. It makes you better at that, but what does that matter?
Do you think you could have like carved that marble that made that statue? I couldn't.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're better?
Yeah, and I love that is. Oh God,
Mob is very good.
Mob is very good. Oh my God.
All right, flashback before death. Here is the Demon Slayer Naruto.
Yamero. God, absolutely. Stop.
Better than the perverts and the incest characters, but still fucking awful.
In fact, okay, I could see it in Baka, if only just because it has been done well. But usually
it kills the pacing.
It can, but there have been one or two times where God, it's actually hard for me to pull them. But I feel like in my mind, I do remember at least one or two occasions where the flashback is short, but it reveals a key detail that changes a aspect of it in a significant way.
Yeah, I guess that's enough to like bump it up from something that is just absolutely repugnant to, I guess we'll deal with this.
Yeah, but it's so poorly used so often. The fact that Demon Slayer, it's amazing how much worse it gets from the first time it happens to like when they're literally having the flashback as they're turning into dust. Like crazy, insane. I hate it just because it's the mangaka waiting to the last moment to make their death more tragic. I hate that.
Lifespan decreasing power.
Oh, lifespan. Okay, yeah. Lifespan decreasing power.
Give me examples. I can't think of that trope.
Like if you use that technique again, it'll take years off your life.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Using your life force to power something up. Gotcha.
Okay, so that one's sort of weird because look, we are, one of the reasons that we age and one of the reasons that we can die of old age, is our DNA, it refreshes and cuts off a bit, and like it's a whole thing.
Our cells degrade in their regeneration over time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the language to explain it properly. And the idea is that this power is going to speed that up or just, it's going to hurt you on the cellular level, which, that's actually a really kind of interesting thing. But I will say, I feel like it's used so often in shonen anime, but you never really get to see the consequences because the anime is very rarely ever going to
we see Might Guy in a wheelchair at the end of Naruto.
Yeah, but that wasn't because he used quote unquote a lifespan decreasing power. It's because during the fight,
he broke all his bones.
Yeah, he broke his body during that fight. So it's It's not bad. I don't dislike it as a concept, but I do think sometimes it's used to give fake tension. Like, I can appreciate the idea.
Does the Kaioken count? No, because that's just damaging his body. It doesn't shorten his lifespan. Like, I think in Yu Yu Hakusho, when Yusuke's fighting Suzaku, they mentioned that like Yusuke tapped into his life energy, but we never really see any actual negative repercussions of ever doing that.
Yeah, well, tapping into your life energy is more like, okay, but if you use all your spirit energy, you'll pass out and you'll have to recover. You use all your life energy, you die.
I'll throw this somewhere in Shoto. I have very little opinion on this. And I've never seen a good example of it.
Actually, I believe Luffy. Remember when Luffy had to recover from using Ivankov's hormones? Ivankov says this is going to take
years off
his life.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, okay, I guess that'll happen. But, with considering what Luffy is, that might not matter.
Yeah. This next one I actually have plenty of opinions on. I love a good training arc.
A good training arc is phenomenal.
All of Greed Island is a training arc, and I love Greed Island.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Greed Island is just one giant training arc, isn't it?
Greed Island is a training arc.
Greed Island is the training arc before the Chimera Ants.
Yeah, like
I never thought of it like that.
Its whole story is just them learning how to better utilize, Nen.
Holy shit!
Granted, it caps off with, and it just kind of caps off with like a life or death test. But
wait, you love Greed Island?
I like Greed Island a lot. Yeah. It's not my favorite Hunter x Hunter arc, but I still love it.
It is my least favorite Hunter x Hunter arc. Now, my least favorite Hunter x Hunter arc is like saying,
it's still better than some whole anime.
Yeah.
I'm also like very partial to training arcs. I loved it when we got to see Krillin and Goku training with Master Roshi that first time on that island, doing the farm work, delivering the milk, running from dinosaurs.
Yeah. I like training arcs in general. I do think that, unfortunately, it does feel like sometimes they can either go on too long or are too short. Finding the right balance of how much time an author spends on it, it can be tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm for it, but I have seen bad ones, and
they can be done poorly.
Yeah. Also, you can't use two, even if you have one that's really well timed, careful about using another one and another one and another one. Naruto, you get so many training arcs. There's so many training arcs in Naruto. And a lot of them are good, but it does get to that point where it's like, oh God, we're on another training arc.
I mean, like Hunter x Hunter goes right from Heaven's Tower, Heaven's Arena to York New. So like you take like a small training arc, then you go into like an actual like story that's not even like, the people who just did the training story. And then you go into Greed Island, which is their formal training arc.
I will say the Tower for me is a combination of training arc and just an arc on itself that is here to help explain more about the world. But when you talk about Greed Island just being a training arc, if you really look at it from the outside.
That whole game was Jing building a game to teach his son how to use Nen.
Yeah. Wow, that training got out of hand.
Well, I get it. You didn't bomb.
Nice.
But yeah, I have a hard time putting it at the very least below Yosh. I personally might throw it in Sugoi just because some of my like favorite beats, like things that'll actually get my ass up and into the gym.
I would definitely put it in Yosh just because there are some really good ones. But again, I do think it's often overused, and the bad ones just make me like it being overused and often misused.
Yeah, I'll put it in a little higher than Older Than They Look. That feels fair. Tsundere. Girl likes a guy, but really doesn't, Baka.
So there are a couple of tsundere that I really like. But by and large, it feels like this trope is poorly used.
I would agree. I can't think of many characters that I'm like, yeah, I really like them. That stupid bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Baka.
I think, yeah, especially as you get older. I hate to say this. When you're younger, the person who has trouble showing their feelings, but obviously likes you, like that could be kind of fun. And especially
the
Helga Pataki. Watching that stuff can be a lot of fun, and it can even sound appealing. But when you get older,
This feels like you're wasting time spinning your wheels. Like, this character can be written well. They can be written fun.
They can be written incredibly well.
I have a hard time off the top of my head thinking of too many.
Yeah,
but
I think my favorite tsunderes are actually the ones who kind of come around a little bit quickly, or the ones that aren't harmful to the, like if they're like harming,
like if they're malicious.
Yeah, if they're actively harming the people, like their love interest, that bothers me. And it happens so often. There's so many tsunderes who are actively violent or mean to the people that they like, instead of just struggling with their emotions.
I'll put it at the top of Baka.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what kudere is. Character archetype that appears cool, emotionless, and aloof, but hides deep affection and softer. Okay, so more.
Where the tsundere is bigger, more like lashes out.
Like lashes out. This one's is like it's fine.
Yeah, and then what is dandere?
Anime manga character archetype that is quiet. Okay, that's a Hinata. Dandere is Hinata.
Dandere. Okay, so dandere and then yandere. So
yandere is just crazy.
So we have chill, shy, and crazy.
Okay, so like the kudere is the one where like they're collected and cool, but they like secretly foster feelings for somebody that they're friends with, or that they're around. That's fine. It's better. It's better than tsundere.
Kudere, honestly, some of my favorite. I love me a good kudere character. Now, I also don't like it when they can be fetish bait. Then again, all of these can sort of be fetish bait.
Yeah.
But that being said, I love me a good kudere just because they're often the funniest character. There's nothing I love more than a deadpan character who has strong emotional feelings, because they get to do some weird, wild shit. So kudere for me, that's it. At least in Choto, maybe even Yosh.
Would this be a good example of like Tamari? Maybe, but she doesn't really like harbor massive feelings.
No, Tamari would actually be closer. We rarely get to see
the thing about her is like she never really outwardly shows affection. We just know that they end up together.
The kudere is, hey, what's up? How you doing? They seem a little monotone.
Okay.
Tamari is not monotone. She's actually closer to tsundere than she is.
I guess.
We can put her in Choto.
Bottom Choto. Yeah,
sure. We can put her in
Choto. Let's just do dandere at the same time.
Yeah. Let's do the deres. Let's get all the deres out of the wheres.
This one's probably the most fetishy of all of them. Like the shy, bashful one that like really likes the person but can't. Like Hinata is like the best example. Yeah,
Hinata is a top tier dandere example, and frankly, I don't mind. If you see Hinata and you're like, oh my god, she's just like me for real, I'm not judging you. But in these stories, they are often the character that's like, oh, you're gonna drag this shit out. It's you just kind of
not until the last movie when she gives him a scarf and then gets married to a moon man.
The movie where she gives him a scarf and then suddenly Naruto remembers. Oh right, she professed her love to me.
That's crazy. Oh man, like she almost died trying to help me.
Yeah, like look, it's. I get it, but it is.
I like it better than tsundere, but it's also less interesting.
It's way less interesting. It's definitely below tsundere for me, because there are tsundere characters I like. The dandere characters, there are still a few that I like, but they're often just kind of annoying, and not because they are who they are, but the story just doesn't develop them quickly enough. It just takes so much time. We still have one more dere.
Oh, is there? Oh, yeah. Yandere. Yeah. Crazy. I can't think of many of the, okay, actually, no, I can think of more of these than I can think of some of the other examples in shows that I've actually watched. Specifically, Palm.
Palm is the yandere. What's her face from Overlord?
Succubus lady. Actually, a lot of them are yandere, but she's the most.
Now, I will say.
And then there's, fucking Blood Girl from My Hero.
Himiko.
Himiko is probably the most egregious example.
Oh my god, I just realized I think I kind of love yandere characters when they're done well. I feel like there are a lot of really bad, gross ones, but the ones that are just kind of like a little crazy. Himiko is definitely crazy.
She's too crazy. She's very crazy.
But that's actually the appeal, because she is actually a villain. There is no question about I like her. I like her story with Ochako a lot. I feel like I'm so glad that Himiko Toga exists within My Hero Academia. Not only is she a great character in her own right and has a fantastic relationship with Twice, but what she does for Ochako's character is so phenomenal, because, oh my god, Ochako needed to get away from Deku's whole deal. God, I put that up with kudere. I like a good yandere. Now, there are plenty of bad yanderes, but...
Does Launch count? Blonde Launch?
No, she's actually none of those.
I guess, yeah.
I guess she could
close with Tien, but then never
Yeah, we
developed into nothing.
We never really see enough of her with Tenshinhan.
And she never actively wants to kill him.
And even then, she'd actually be a tsundere.
I guess, yeah. OP main characters, your mobs, your Saitamas, the guy from the Harry Potter show, but he's strong instead of magic.
The guy from Mashal. Yeah. A ton of isekai.
Most isekai.
So much isekai slop. So much slop. Your Kiritos.
Yeah, your Kiritos. I mean, I guess Ichigo, but he also like has to like earn his bullshit powers sometimes, like, or at least he needs to figure out how to unlock his bullshit powers.
Yeah, Ichigo works for it.
He's a contender, but he's not like a mob who is like showing up in every situation and he's already outclassed everything.
He's sort of a prodigy on it.
Prodigy,
honestly.
yeah.
Prodigy. Yeah, he's a prodigy.
He's a prodigy.
Yeah.
The solo leveling guy who doesn't start OP, but like almost like at least halfway through the first season becomes immensely OP.
Yeah, and you can say that some of these quote unquote earned it, but not narratively. Narratively, they're just giving it. They fast track it. They find a way. Maybe they go through some pain.
I think the solo leveling one, like, it's leading to something where he's actually going to have to deal with things of his scale. So maybe that one's a little more earned, but either way, still the same deal.
They're power fantasies, or in the case of one in his writing and his stuff,
comedies.
Comedies or avenues to kind of explore ideas.
Mob is probably the best example of this being insanely well written.
Yeah,
but that's rare.
I hate them. I think I hate them. I think I hate them by and large, and not because they can't be good. In fact, I do know a couple of really good ones.
I think when it is like part of a comedy, I think it's good. Like your Arales.
But there's so many comedies that are bad.
Yeah.
If we go with the ideal version of this, if we go with the best possible ideal version of this, you can have some good stuff. Again, you can have your mobs. You can have your Saitamas.
I just don't think it's as bad as, like, you know, just because there's a billion isekai slop things out there that I haven't seen where this is probably just fucking terrible.
Yeah, but they're slop anyway. Like, I guess the real thing is, if in the piece of media that they're in, is it made better or worse by the main character being OP?
Like, I think of like real world media of characters like this, and one show that I keep going back to that's like absolute dad slop is Reacher. Reacher is an OP character.
And if you want to talk about American comics or cartoons, Superman. Superman is an OP character. But his best stories are not about, or rather about him.
Yeah, aren't about him using might. It's about him being human.
Yeah. So
being like using his heart.
I guess there can be good uses of it. If there's just so many bad versions of it.
Throw it in Choto.
Yeah, prescriptively, it's kind of a Toto, maybe even a Yosh for me, because again, we've seen how well it's used. But descriptively, like if we look at like the whole, all the stuff that's come out.
I'll put it at the bottom of Choto.
Yeah, let's put it there. Okay, yeah.
Dumb main character.
Yes.
Your Gokus. Your I guess Gones.
Gon, I actually wouldn't say Gon is dumb. Gon is innocent.
He's simple.
Yeah, he's innocent. He's simple. He's pure, but he's not dumb because every time he's taken a task on something, he actually learns pretty quickly.
Goku's dumb until it comes time to fight. The guy from Mashal, he's fucking dumb until I guess no, actually, he's very good at outside the box thinking. Like he's able to he's played as very dumb though.
Yeah, I guess he's sort of a meathead, right?
Yeah. Denji's dumb. Denji's dumb as shit.
Denji is dumb.
He's the dumbest motherfucker.
Yeah. And I love him, but he is dumb as hell. Let's see. Luffy's dumb.
Oh, Luffy's very dumb.
Luffy's super dumb.
Like he's got immense emotional intelligence and crazy battle intelligence. Like his fight IQ is crazy, but he's dumb as shit.
You know who's also dumb?
Huh?
Kamina. Kamina's a little dumb.
Bit dumb.
Yep. You know what? I think I love me some dummies.
Stupid character. When they're stupid and simple and kind.
Yes.
They're great.
Yeah. If they're mean-spirited, which they rarely do, but it happens sometimes.
Dumb usually comes with like being kind.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of sad way to read it. But
well, it sort of comes with the entire Buddhist idea.
They're less
burdened by and that's neat. I like that. I definitely like the approach. It is it's the himbo ideal.
Yeah,
like he's dumb, but is he nice?
Fuck it. I like after talking about that, I might put it up in Sugoi.
I could see it. Funny enough, one of our favorite.
I can't think of many dumb main characters that I absolutely abhor.
Mob's actually a little dumb.
Yeah, Mob's stupid as shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, you know what? Weirdly, like
it's not great as a trope, but every single character that I can personally think of are very strong just for being like simple.
Look, and I love my smart main characters too. I love Izuku Midoriya. I actually like him as a main character quite a bit.
He would not work if he was dumb.
Yusuke Urameshi isn't exactly dumb.
No. He's in a middle ground. Like, he's ignorant, but he's
streetwise, and he's also weirdly emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
Gosh, I never really thought about how much I love my dummies.
Yeah,
but I do love my dummies.
Next up, this is like the power up. Now, are we talking like this is what they happen at, like this is what happens after the training, or are we talking like take time to charge your ki kind of?
I definitely think that this is the prior. I don't think this is I think this is, oh yeah, here's something to power you up. Like
this is your upscale.
Yeah. This one is very much only for shonen anime, which some of these are too, but this one is almost like, well, no, I guess you can also like put this in like certain mech anime as well. Fuck, I don't know. It's fine. It
can lead to some like sick moments. Yeah, it's like see Gohan Super Saiyan 2.
They're honestly top of Choto because it has been used so poorly so often, but that's just because of bad writers. It's a neutral one, and I think like, the most
Ichigo whipping out his Bankai for the first time, Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time.
Yeah, like let's put it at the top of Choto, just because. I might
throw it at the bottom of Yosh.
I think it could live in either place, because again, this is one of those ones where it's a trope that has sort of become overused and abused.
There are so many iconic moments.
Yeah, there's so many good uses of it.
I gotta put it in Yosh.
Okay.
Just due to the fact that like so many iconic moments, like Yusuke during the Dark Tournament when he whips off those, like again, this kind of goes with the limiter thing, but when you finally like see his spirit like energy go all out, it's like, oh fuck. Yeah. And he just starts kind of like slow walking Toguro.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Oh, man.
Speaking of tournament arcs.
So tournament arcs are weird because
I love me a good tournament arc.
I love me a good tournament arc, but I hate me a bad one.
Fortunately, I don't think I've watched a lot of bad ones.
I do think they happen too often. There are so many times where like a show will be like, and now a tournament arc, and I'm like, fuck me.
And now there's a tournament.
And there are good.
See our bracket of tournament versus tournament video.
Yeah, I'm gonna be frank. As much as I like the tournament arc in My Hero, I also kind of hate it because it comes so quickly, and it's just an excuse to show off the powers. Like there is some emotional development there. Horikoshi is smart enough to really make that story mostly about like
the characters and
specifically
the emotional stakes.
Todoroki.
Yeah.
Todoroki gives Ochako a really great moment against Bakugo. I fucking love their fight so much. And we get stuff for Ochako. We get stuff for a bunch of those characters. But it's like, we've got to slow down the progress of the overall story for a fucking tournament.
But then you have things like the Dark Tournament, which fucking amazing.
Okay, the Dark Tournament is just a showcase of Togoshi's like
being awesome at coming up with characters and power sets.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It's like for every bad tournament arc, I can kind of look at like another good tournament arc, and it's hard to beat the Dark Tournament. It's so phenomenal.
I can't
think. And it goes on so long. It's weird. It is one of the longer tournament arcs.
Yeah.
And they still manage to make it fresh, largely because they give a lot of downtime too. It's not just fight. There's a bunch of stuff that happens in the like behind the scenes or in between the fights, or interweave between fights, like fucking what happens with Kurama. Oh my god. It's phenomenal stuff, but I'm kind of
as a trope,
I'm kind of sick of it. That's my problem. I'm sick of tournament arcs. So I guess bottom of Yosh, top of Choto.
I'll throw top of Choto. As much as like I love me a tournament arc, I can agree that like maybe it gets overused in shonen.
Yeah,
frankly, not even maybe it does.
Frankly, it is the second worst arc in Dragon Ball Super, which being the Universe 6 tournament. The Tournament of Power is probably the third worst, actually.
Yeah, it's
maybe
got some high highs, but some very low lows.
Actually, it's kind of hard. Where would you place Battle of Gods? The arc.
Never
not
watched
movie.
the arc.
Okay.
I've only look, if there's a movie for it, I'm watching the shorter version.
Yeah, and the movie is just genuinely better than the show.
Next up, you got OP Old Man.
Okay.
Great example of this, obviously, from Bleach. You got the lead of the Soul Society.
Master Roshi at the very beginning.
Master Roshi at the very beginning.
Jiraiya is the OP old man.
But he's not like old. He comes across like just like a fully formed, like powered up dude.
Yeah, but he is in his 60s.
I guess, but he I don't know, he's portrayed as
He's
40s.
portrayed. Yeah, he's portrayed rather young, and part of that is just like
him being in shape and it being a cartoon.
Yeah, OP old man's. I do like
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Although he's not OP.
Yeah, he's not OP. He's strong. I will say, yeah, one of my favorite OP old men, especially you haven't seen the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, have you?
No, but I heard that his name's Yamato, right?
Yamamoto. I think is it? Oh no,
whatever.
I'm sorry.
Fire Captain.
Fire Captain.
I know he has like an insane okay, time for me to drop my weights, bitch, moment.
Okay, look, I have mixed opinions on Bleach, but the adaptation for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc is so phenomenal. And what they do with that whole bit is so goddamned good. I cannot believe how much sauce that anime gives all of that. Highly recommend.
Either way, I don't have an issue with this trope. It can often be kind of fun where just out of nowhere, this character that's been teaching for a while is like, oh, you want me to show you what I can do now, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll just slap the shit out of you.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's kind of bottom of Yosh, or maybe somewhere in Choto for me. I just really enjoy it because when it's very rarely poorly done, honestly. I mean, it can be. Oh man, I'm not even a huge Sakamoto Days fan, but there's an old man in there, and he's crazy. He's wild.
I'll throw it somewhere in Shoto here. Throw it around the tournament arc. Why not?
Yeah,
I still think tournament arcs are more fun, but more overused. Harem.
Baka.
It's certainly Baka coded. It's very Baka coded.
I mean, okay, how do I say this? It's not that there are no good harems.
It's just that all of them make you feel a little scummy.
I've watched and kind of enjoyed a bit of 100 Girlfriends.
Never heard of it.
Oh, really? You might get a little kick out of it. I don't know. It's funny. But it can be heartfelt, and it's really funny. But yeah, it's about a guy who, because of a mistake that happens with his true love, he's supposed to have everyone has a true love or a soulmate.
Oh, he has 100 of them?
Yeah, because of a clerical error.
Ah, fun.
So I find that there's some comedy to be mined there, and they do. It's also kind of gross sometimes. Genuinely just
is Tenchi a harem that's
yes.
done fairly tastefully?
I would say that Tenchi is again kind of the ideal, where there's a lot of story there, and Tenchi gets room to be a good character while the girls are in love with them. It's not that there are no good harems, but for every Tenchi Muyo there's 10 love hinas, and I'm sorry, love hina is garbage. I remember one of my friends was like, oh, dude, you got to watch this anime. It's so funny and romantic, and it really moved me. Love Hina's garbage. Love Hina is incredibly bad. I do not understand why anybody would like it. Its story is absolutely idiotic. All of its characters are annoying. The main girl that obviously he's going to end up with, you've never seen a more obvious, that's the girl.
Is it Hina?
I actually can't remember if that was her name. But no, she's mean-spirited and I hate it. I hate Love Hina so fucking much.
These are not the things I go out of my way. The closest thing I've watched to a harem, probably something like Overlord or maybe Food Wars. Food Wars isn't even technically a harem. But he just kind of ends up with a collection of girls.
Yeah,
around him that like him.
It's harem. There's some harem.
It's harem coded.
Yeah, it's harem coded, but it's not trying to say oh, look at all these girls I'm gonna end up with. It's more just all these girls kind of
they fucks with his food.
Yeah, they fucks with his food. Also, Odan High School Host Club is a reverse harem. but it also has like no allusions to who she's going to end up with. They're not trying to play with that. It's, oh yeah, no, she's going to end up with Tamaki. So that allows them to just tell good stories and have fun and have her relate to the guys and help inform their lives and improve that. That's why that works.
This honestly kind of goes like hand in hand with like fan service to me, like where like obviously these shows are going to probably have more of that, but it's just more an excuse to have more fan service in a lot of cases.
It really is.
So I'll leave it in like bottom baka.
But it's like the worst kind of avenue for it.
Yeah. Next up, hero and villain teaming up. I do love me some of these moments, like where they got to like team up to fight a greater evil.
Yeah, which we essentially get that with Naruto and Sasuke, because at that point Sasuke's still flirting with being a bad guy.
He's very anti-hero, anti-villain, but he's clearly not on the same side. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically protag and antag teaming up.
Again, this would be the best example of Vegeta and Krillin and Gohan versus the Ginyus.
Oh yeah, like I love that kind of shit.
One of the hypest moments in Chrono Trigger for me is when you get to like add Magus to your party. And that's like, oh shit, that's cool. Or like I'm sure like one of the big surprises early on in Dragon Ball Z was when Piccolo and Goku teamed up to fight Raditz.
Oh yeah, no, that's in fact a hero and villain, because at that point Piccolo's still a villain.
He went into that fight thinking like, man, I hope I can kill these guys, and then he killed both of them. He's like, oh no, something bigger's happening.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other ones where that happened. I feel like that's definitely happened a little bit in One Piece, right?
It definitely happens in Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
I mean, like, it's hard to say that Hisoka is specifically a villain, but he's very villainous.
Yeah, no, Hisoka is 100% a villain. He's just like, he's a villain where...
Again, he's fight hungry.
Yeah, he's most people don't have to worry about Hisoka, because Hisoka is after very specific people, but he is a villain.
Mm. So like, but every moment I can think of, it's always been pretty fucking hype.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh my God. What is one of the most hype from a series that we've watched that we're known for? One of the coolest moment in all of Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, in all of Dragon Ball Super? Yeah, at the very, very end.
Yeah, Goku and Frieza up against Jiren.
Goku, Frieza, and 17 fighting Jiren.
Yeah, honestly, still bizarre to this day that ever happened. Still rocks my dick off. Holy shit.
Yeah, they went hard in the sauce in that one. Like, that one's great. Yeah, I have a hard time putting this below Sugoi.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, I would put it up there.
Probably even above villain versus villain.
Yeah,
because it usually leads to like way better moments.
Yeah, it's right up there with villain versus villain.
Next up, named attacks.
I love named attacks.
How could you not?
Okay, look, I know so many people.
They can be overdone.
Yeah, look, I know a lot of people who don't like named attacks because it is a little silly. Like, and it is. Like, let's be honest, and if you have the story where they're telling a really, truly serious, authentic, it can be a little bit silly to then pull out, like,
cataclysmic buzzsaw.
Yeah, I'm a little here or there.
I don't think they should have to shout it every single time, but I am happy with named attacks.
Yeah, I'm okay with named attacks. And look, sometimes it works out really well.
Kamehameha, Rasengan.
Yeah, sometimes them yelling it out does make it cooler. I'm not saying that every one of them has to never be said every single time. Some of them I want said every single time. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do think its silliness does kind of limit its potential for serious stories, and really kind of just does tell you, hey, we're not taking this too seriously.
Maybe. But there are some moments where even just saying the attack as it's going off can be hype as fuck.
There are moments where it's like especially when it's said like in a moment where this is the punctuation of the attack.
And usually that's the case.
Oh, no, usually it's the lead off or it's during.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, the attack has happened and then they say it and then the impact happens.
Well, but then you have the Kamehameha, which is like it's always part of the charging process, and then that ha is the exclamation. Like,
yeah, but he never says Kamehameha after he's fired it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he says it as he's doing it. I'm talking like when they say the attack after it's happened.
Hokuto no Ken.
Yeah, like that. That's one of those cases where you say it. He says it as a punctuation to the attack.
Yeah, but named attack. I'm cool.
okay with it.
I'm cool with them. Like,
yeah, I'm okay with it being in Sugoi. Yeah. I love how it looks like. Look, it looks like by the end of this, sword slice after cut is the only one that's making Subarashi.
It's all fucking cool
because there's no way to get around the fact that it's just always good.
Yeah. Like if Akira Slide was in here, it might be up there as well. It's always cool.
It kind of is.
That said, Battle of Wits it may be a contender, but only because oftentimes it's like it can be a lot of fun. Like, you know, L and Light.
Yeah. As much as they struggled to write them as smart as they were diegetically, it's really cool. Like, I love me a good Battle of Wits. I like two characters going up against each other. It's good. I don't know if it's like Subarashi territory. Hell,
no,
I'd even say it's like high Yosh territory.
Yeah, I think of a case in Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama versus his schoolmate in that word battle.
Oh, yeah. And hell, there's a bit of that in Hunter x Hunter as well.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, high Yosh.
Like up there, you know, that works. It's up there
with the genius. Yeah.
Isekai
is
insanely mixed bag, super fucking overused.
By and large, I'm sick of isekai. I'm so fucking sick of it, and I do think it has just been overused to the point where it is now a genre in and of itself.
Yeah, I always think of isekai in terms of like, oh, you get sucked into a video game, but no, it's just other world. Like Inuyasha's an isekai.
Yeah. We've gone back.
Digimon's an isekai.
Yes, Escaflowne, isekai. So we've gone back and we've looked as like, okay, well, under this new meaning, isekai, these count. Yeah. And if you don't think Inuyasha is an isekai because she goes back in time,
it's a very different world.
That version of Japan isn't even like our version of like ancient Japan, okay? That's not the same. That's not the same.
They did a great job wiping out those demons at some point.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. Yeah, whenever they do that, like if you go back in time, all these monsters and magic used to be there. It's like
eventually we create guns.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Guns were great at eliminating all of the monsters.
Right? It's not that there are no good The
problem is it feels more like a platform than a trope, and the trope is a platform.
Let me say this. It's not that I think that there should be no more isekai. I am saying that if there were no more isekai, I wouldn't cry about it.
Yeah, which is why I have a hard time necessarily putting it in Baka.
Yeah, well, no, I would put it in. I would put it in Baka immediately.
Okay, I'll throw it near the top of Baka though, just because, like, again, it's more of a platform. Like, actually, the platform is a trope.
If I had to be honest, like, I'm not even sure that I would put tsundere and dandere in Baka. Okay,
I can see that, like, just bumping those two up.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like for Yamato is please stop. Please stop.
Yeah, don't do this anymore.
Yeah, don't ever do this again.
Choto is more of like okay, hear me out, maybe.
Yeah. Like there are a lot of bad examples, but there are a lot of good examples too, where Baka is just like,
this is dumb.
Yeah, Baka is where like there are a couple of really good examples where that saves it from me saying don't ever do it again. But God, I'm tired of it. I'm so done.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
Well, yeah. I guess that's our.
That's the whole list. Sword slice after the cut, like the delayed damage. That's a pretty top tier one. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to like. I don't know. It's hard to dethrone that, and it's hard to think of any. Are there any ones in Sugoi? Do you think you'd like now that we've finished? Are there any ones that you might move up to
that might bump up?
Yeah.
If it weren't for the fact that they're overused, maybe named attacks, because those are like hype as shit sometimes, like, and like a lot of very key prominent things are named attacks.
I could see an argument for hero villain team up.
I could see that argument as well, honestly, because I can't think of many negative times that's happened. Yeah, you know what? I'll bump that up.
Woo! Yeah, we have another one for Subarashi.
Hero villain team up goes up there.
You know what? Honestly, wow, that's a remarkably balanced list, actually.
Fairly balanced, yeah.
I'm actually sort of surprised.
As all things should be. Wow. It's fucking symmetrical.
Not... Wait, hold on. Is it?
Yeah, it's exactly...
Oh, yeah. It's exactly symmetrical. My God.
Oh, no. There's one too many in Sugoi.
Yeah, there's one too many in Sugoi.
Then it's impossible to balance then.
No!
What do you think? What's your list look like? Let us know what you think.
I am almost certain that if Jeff Thu ever sees this, he's going to be so angry at me because he loves harem.
How do you feel about incest characters?
How do you feel about incest characters? Tell us down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No, honestly, I really would. I genuinely, there's nothing I love more than something I don't like, or even actively dislike, and somebody coming in and giving an explanation of why they're into it.
Please do. Please, by all means, tell us. Have a good one.